Welcome back to the Social Selling Podcast. And I know what you're thinking. How do I have time for social selling, Dan? How can I fit social selling into my busy schedule? I'm already busy. There are already not enough hours in the day. And now you want me to start using LinkedIn and social selling? How am I going to find time to do it? And I understand. So today, in today's episode, I'm going to break this down to the bare minimum, the simplest of activities you can do. And I'm going to show you how your sales teams, your businesses can leverage social selling in just 15 minutes per day. That's right, 15 minutes per day of these activities. And I am confident you will probably generate more results than you already are if you're not massively active on LinkedIn. So if you're struggling to find time, I'm going to show you 3 little activities, just 5 minutes on each of these could be an absolute game changer. And if you can't find 15 minutes in a day, then maybe we need to have a little look at what you're doing to see if we can squeeze some extra time in it, because I'm sure everyone out there could find 15 minutes that they might be able to invest in social selling, knowing that it could have such a positive ROI across 2024 and beyond. And the bonus to all of this is everything you do, all these activities, they have a compound effect, meaning the longer you keep doing them, the bigger the results build. So as long as you keep doing these activities, then the results will keep coming. How do I know? Well, I've been doing these activities for 10 years now. And trust me, not only did they deliver from the start, they continue to do so, and they build and build and build. So let's dig into it. Social selling in 15 minutes per day based on 3 activities. Let's dig in to activity number 1. 5 minutes each day. Activity number 1, growing your network. For us to really start to get some results, some movement on social media through social selling, we need to grow our audience. One of my favorite quotes in the world of social selling is your network is your net worth. Your network of connections and followers on LinkedIn should and could have a monetary value. It may already have a monetary value that you're not reaping the benefits of, depending on how many decision makers are in there, how much potential, value they have in terms of what they might buy from you. There is a value there. What we want to do is get that value to become yours, to become converted, closed, one business. So we want to grow our network, and 5 minutes each day, we want to proactively grow our network. And what that means is we want to go out there and find new people to connect with. So on a daily basis, and when I say 5 minutes, that's a minimum of 5 minutes. You could do 10, you could do 15 minutes on each of these activities. 5 minutes is the minimum. In 5 minutes, you could easily add 5 to 10 new connections. If you do that every day, let's say you're able to add 10 new connections, 5 minutes, easy task every day, Monday to Friday, that's 50 new connections in a week. That's 200 new connections in a month. By the end of the year, you'll have over 2,000 new connections. Considering the average LinkedIn network is around 1,000 connections, you could double that within a year just by consistent connecting. And here's a way of looking at it. It's like climbing a mountain. It's like getting fit. It's not something that happens overnight. It's something that happens from regular daily activities and habits. So activity 1, growing our network, 5 minutes each day. You could be as simple as going onto LinkedIn, clicking on the My Network button, and just going through the list of recommendations that LinkedIn's going to make. LinkedIn's going to look at your existing audience of connections, and it's going to suggest other similar people. You could literally spend a few minutes each day going through that, adding 5 to 10 new people, job done. But what is important is that it's done consistently. And that is true for all of these 3 activities that I'm going to be sharing today. Consistency really is key. It's the glue that holds it together. The moment you stop being consistent, the moment you slow down, the moment you take a break, all that does is hinder and potentially damage the impact you're making, but it also means it's going to take you longer. Like climbing a mountain. The moment you stop climbing, it's just going to take you longer to get to the top. So we want to keep that consistency going. So activity 1, we're growing our network. We're looking for people. We can do targeted searches. We can go into LinkedIn. I could type in sales directors, click enter. I could filter by country, by city. And I can find really targeted people that I can then add and really increase the value of my network. Lots of ways we can find the right people to connect with, but we also want to think slightly wider. So I don't want you to think too focused on just the target decision maker. So as an example, let's say I'm targeting sales directors. Yes, I'm going to want to try and add lots of great sales directors to my network, but equally, what is of equal value is to connect with other people in their company. So if I connect with the sales director of Google, well, I'm also going to want to connect with part of the sales team on Google and maybe other departments that might be stakeholders in that decision-making process to maximize the influence and impact I have on that company and to potentially sell up. If I can't get through to the sales director, then I'll work my way down, try the sales manager, try one of the sales execs, and then try and sell my way up to the sales director eventually. So we want to be a little bit strategic with it, but we want to open our eyes and look at the wider picture. The final little tip I'll give you on this is that remember, a connection is not a single person. So if you connected with me, you might look at me and perhaps I'm not your ideal customer persona. I don't match your target customer. So you might think, well, what's the point in connecting with Dan? He's never going to buy from us. Well, just remember, it's not just me. So when you connect with me, you also connect with my 125,000 connections and followers that I have. And anytime I interact with your content or you interact with mine, your audience and my audience will see that. So whilst I may not be a customer, there's probably going to be at least one, maybe a few customers in my network. So each person isn't just an individual, they're their own network. So if I connect with a sales director, they're probably going to be connected with other sales directors as well. Equally, if I'm connected with a salesperson, they're probably going to be connected to some sales directors as well. So I just want to sort of open your eyes a little bit to the bigger picture of how LinkedIn networks worked. But our first activity, 5 minutes each day, we're growing our network and we're doing that consistently. I see a lot of people who start to get some success on LinkedIn, but they reach a ceiling quite quickly. And it's because they do the other activities that we're about to come to, but they don't grow their network. So they end up only essentially communicating with a small sort of group of people. So if we want to keep this train moving and we want to start building, we want to make sure our network is growing. So that's step one. Step two, we want to start engaging. We want to get our name out there. So yes, our network is growing now. Now let's get our name out there by commenting, by interacting, by communicating with people on LinkedIn. So 5 minutes a day, go onto LinkedIn, scroll through your feed, and what you want to do is comment on several posts. I would say at bare minimum, 3 to 5 posts. 5 minutes, easy to do. A comment shouldn't take you more than 30 to 60 seconds max. Find a post that's good, value-giving, relevant to your industry, to your target customer, and add a like and a comment. And the comment is the most valuable part. A like is great, but a comment makes you visible. Because every time you comment, what do people see? They see your profile photo. They see your name, and they see the first few words of your headline. Every time you comment, that's visible. Anytime you like, it's invisible. People have to literally go into the list to see it. But when you comment, your name becomes seen. And when you're commenting maybe 3 to 5 times a day consistently, when people start coming into LinkedIn, they start to see you on a regular basis. They start to get to know you. Your name starts to stick. And they start to recognize you. And if your comments give value, which is the extra layer to all of this, then they're going to start to see you as someone valuable in your industry. And that's an important part about commenting. It's not just about putting a like and then adding, great post, Dan, but add your thoughts. Really love this post, Dan. Actually, something similar happened to me. Or this is a really interesting point, Dan. I actually have a slightly different view on this. And then give your own value so you can start to show people your experience, your stories, your knowledge. And as I said, the value that you can give to your audience. So step one, 5 minutes, we're adding more people to our network. Step two, we're going to start commenting and getting our name out there. That's going to bridge us to step three, which is probably one of the most important components of social selling. Step three, 5 minutes a day, we're going to post content. We are going to share and create our own LinkedIn content on a regular, consistent basis. Now, for a lot of people, if you're not sharing content, the thought of sharing a post every single day is going to be daunting. So please don't stress. If you're just starting out on LinkedIn, especially if you're just starting out in creating content, please don't worry about jumping in the deep end and having to do, posts every day. You can start with 1 to 2 posts a week. That's fine. So it's going to save you a bit of time. You could put more of that time into growing your network and commenting. But to start with, 1 to 2 posts is fine, and build it up as your confidence grows. Build it up to then 2 to 3, to 3 to 4, to 4 to 5. And as you become confident, or for those of you that already are confident, anything up to 1 post a day, 7 days a week is absolutely fine. And in fact, the weekend is full of opportunities, but we'll cover that in a future episode. But we're sharing content, and we're doing that on a consistent basis. So not only is our audience growing and people are getting to see our name because we're commenting on all these posts, but we're now sharing posts. We're now giving our own value. We're telling our own stories. We're showing our own expertise. And that's where we really start to build a strong personal brand. Those 3 activities can be an absolute game changer. 15 minutes a day, growing your network. We're commenting and getting our name out there, and we're sharing content. My biggest tip with sharing content is give value. Make the majority of your content value giving. Don't talk about your product. Don't try and sell something. Give value to your target customers. If, for example, you sell to marketing leaders, then give as much value to marketing leaders as you can. Here are my top recommendations of technologies for marketing leaders. Here are books I would recommend to marketing leaders, podcasts I would recommend to marketing leaders. If I were a marketing leader, here are the top trends that I would be focusing on. Today, I had a conversation with a marketing leader. They tried something interesting that I'd never seen before, ... Here it is. Share content targeted at the type of customers that you're trying to reach. And as part of that content, share content about you as well. If you can, maybe a selfie or a picture of you, or a picture of you at work, in the office with a customer. When you share pictures of you, they get to know you, they get to see you. The more they see you, the more comfortable they feel with you, which is all going to lead to them, hopefully at some point, feeling comfortable to buy from you. 3 activities: growing your network, commenting and engaging within your industry, and creating and sharing value-giving content. Doing those on a regular daily basis can be an absolute game changer. 15 minutes a day. I'm sure you can all find it. And here is my big bonus end of episode tip for today. Go into your calendar. I use Google Calendar personally, whatever calendar you use. Create a meeting each day for 15 minutes minimum for social selling for these 3 activities. Set it as a meeting every day, Monday to Friday, as a recurring meeting for the rest of this year. Put it in your calendar so it's there every day. It is your own little bit of accountability, a reminder, a nudge for doing those 3 activities that will help you with the consistency piece. And if you can do that, I promise you, you will see a huge change in the results you get from LinkedIn in 2024 and beyond. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.